Is that me, Sean? Okay, that's a kind of... we're coming now to a GAC, a Gaelic Athletic Club up at Killeavy. But first of all, that's Michael. How are you, Michael? It's good to see you. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Michael and me. I have to tell them about this. I've just spotted it. It's a sublime case of fiddling while Rome burns, so to speak. Bishop imposes a eulogy ban for funeral masses. The Bishop of Meath has banned eulogies from funeral masses, and he's urged priests not to canonize the dead. Wow, he's Michael Smith, that's the man's name. He has also outlawed secular songs, poems, and texts which are devoid, he says, of a Christian content, and it's in a directive issued to the priests of his diocese. That ties in with you're not allowed to have flowers on your coffin in the cathedral. If you're going to be buried in the Newry Cathedral and there are flowers on your coffin, you need to get them off it. They need to be, well, you don't because you'll be in it. But your family will, and your undertaker will not be allowed to have those flowers. Why? Because it has a kind of a Protestant feel to it. And if I'm wrong on that, maybe someone from the cathedral would contact us and tell us. But really and truly, you know, get a life, get a death, let people... It's a person's final moment of family. Not to overdo it, but certainly to record the good points in a person's life. The reason for doing that is to offer an inspirational text, if you like, to the family coming afterwards. Children, grandchildren will hear the eulogy of the father, the grandfather, the great-grandfather, and they'll say, I want to be like him. And after all then, Bishop, tell me if you would, if you're viewing this morning, one of our 10,000 switched into us, Bishop Michael Smith, what is a Christian song? Doesn't God, your Christian God, own the entire world? What's more sacred than music? All music. Give unto Caesar that which is Caesar, give unto God that which is God's. And that to me, it was Jesus talking with his tongue in his cheek, saying something as simple as, God owns it all. So catch yourself on. And I do hope that people down that part of the world will find a door, a 6-inch nail, a proclamation, and a hammer, and put the proclamation on the door saying, we're not going to do what you want, we're going to do it our way. Now, that's me, manners in me now. I'm now relaxed.
Your daily rant.
And my daily rant, it happens. This is Michael, it's so good to see you. Michael O'Neill. What a great name for a man from this part of the world, Michael O'Neill. Michael was the archangel, and wasn't he? He was a big fella too.
He was, he was.
And you've just told me that your Killeavy club up there is the bee's knees. It's better than anyone else. You were 2 years after the foundation of the GAA itself.
That's right. As you know, the GAA was founded in 1884. And we came along very, very soon after to organise games. There's a man writing a history at the moment of the club, and organised games started in the club, and it's actually part of our crest as well. The year 1886, as the formation of a Gaelic club.
And you had the good fortune to call the club after Daniel O'Connell.
No, it was Parnell.
I wanted you to say that yourself. What were the circumstances of change of name?
Kitty O'Shea, I believe, might have had something to do with that. We learned by our mistake anyway.
He was a rascal.
The original, well, he's a bit like the Bishop and me. I'm sure there's some good things going for him, you know. This Parnell was flavour of the month in 1886, and we were named after we were named after him. We were the Killeavy Parnells, but he very quickly, through his misdemeanours with Miss O'Shea, became not the flavour of the month.
Wow!
And it was decided to reassign ourselves, and we went for the local dead saint as a safer bet than a live politician.
There's a lot to be said for that.
There is.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
And Menina, of course.
Yes, of course. You couldn't imagine any club sort of be today calling themselves the Killeavy John Humes or Killeavy Jerry Adams.
No.
That sort of thing.
But Menina trips easily off the lips.
Menina has served us well for over 100 years. So.
And you use a word well, because she's a holy woman of the wells.
Yes,
you have the St. Menina as well.
And on our crest we have St. Menina as well as part of the Slieve Gullion background and so on, you know. So,
Mike, how long have you been involved in the GAA?
Oh, When have I not? Well, I started, I suppose, as a player initially.
With Killeavy?
With Killeavy.
Yeah.
The first organised football that I would have had would have been at under 10 level, primary school level. And my coach at that time was Thomas Mullen. And Thomas is still going strong.
Really?
And still involved in the game, still involved in the club. And that's now the best part of 50 years old.
We had a man like that. He's unfortunately gone to his reward. Well, not unfortunately gone to his reward, but we have lost him. And he was Tommy McKay in the Shamrocks,
yes.
an old gentleman who took a great interest in the young people. He would be there all through the year, a big long coat on him and a belt round the middle, and he'd be there giving out and directing people. And then there was Bobby Langan there from the Down fame in those days and all of that.
Well, it's funny. I remember reading an article written. Well, it was a sort of a question and answer session with Stephen McDonnell, of course.
Yes.
Stevie from Killeavy, who is
Stevie
without
from
any doubt,
Killeavy.
our most famous son.
Yeah.
And Stephen was asked at one stage who had the greatest influence on his career. And his answer to that wasn't the Joe Kernans or the Mick O'Dwyers or the people that he has been working with for years. The answer to that was his under-10 manager, Tom Mullen.
Wow. But that says it all, doesn't it?
But it's people like Tom and
Yeah.
the people you mentioned there that have the
Yeah.
life and soul of the club, and they've been doing it voluntarily for 50 odd years.
But isn't that the ethos?
Yeah.
Isn't it? It doesn't surprise me. Isn't that the ethos of the GAA? Where the GAA is, you find no badness in the young people. It's there for them, it looks after them, it encourages them, it brings them on. And we were through tricky times over the last 40, 45 years. But when a child, a young person, a young fellow, a young girl was with the GAA, you knew they were safe.
Well, that is true. Yes.
Always the case.
It has been a tremendous force for good in this country and abroad. It's if you go to New York or Sydney or whatever, the focal point for the Irish community is in and around the GAA club. It's the greatest voluntary organisation in the world.
There was a man sitting in your seat not so very, very long ago from San Francisco. And he was in here and he was talking. 27 GAA clubs in San Francisco. That's the strength of the
Irish community.
Yeah, it's just wonderful altogether.
And San Francisco itself is a fairly small city.
Small city. Funny the way you have a perception of a place, a misconception of a place. I used to think it was a huge place, but this man was able to. It was a tiny, nice little city, a warm city, friendly city, colourful city.
Lucky enough to be in it about 5 or 6 years ago. A tremendous place. Just you see it on television, you see the hills of San Francisco and Alcatraz and the Golden Gate Bridge, and it lives up to every expectation that you can.
But didn't live up to it sufficiently to bring you back in the last 5 years.
No,
when are you heading back?
Whenever I get the money for this show.
Sean, bring out the donkey with the panniers of gold. He said, there they are at the door waiting for you. So Sunday's coming, and it's an important, we take these things for granted, the things that occur in the lives of clubs, because, what is it? It's a Sunday family day, and we kind of poo-poo it, but we shouldn't.
No, you see, in Killeavy, I think it's very important, first of all, to realise that the club itself is not just a place where people go to kick balls. Or to hit them with sticks or whatever. The club is a real community organisation, and it does we're heavily involved in SCORE, so the whole cultural end of that. But apart from, we have a fireworks display every Halloween, and that is not, if you like, in the charter of the GAA. But it's given something back to the community that sustains us. So we can organise a fireworks display. The community come down and watch it, and it's a mark of the interaction between ourselves and the community. Now, what we're doing on Sunday is an extension of that. Over the past number of years, we've run a charity day. Last year, the charities that benefited were Gateway and the mental health charity Mind.
Yes.
And we were able, through the efforts, once again, of volunteers, to I think the check was somewhere in the region of about £7,000 or £8,000 last year,
amazing.
which is, for a day's work, it's not bad. To come out of the community
but it's hard work,
Oh,
because
it
it's
is,
not
of
just
course.
it's not just a day's work.
Yeah.
You're preparing for it all the time.
Yeah. Well, this year now the charities are the Northern Ireland Autism and the Northern Ireland, or Autism NI, and the Northern Ireland Cancer Fund for Children.
Well done.
And we'd be hoping that we'd be able to put on a bit of a show that the people would appreciate it, and that we can raise a few pound for the charities. And if it's anything like the level that we got last year, we'd be well pleased.
Yeah. So now we're on a roll with it. Let's tell the people exactly what time they should come to it, what is there for them when they arrive there, and how much money they should bring with them. We would encourage you to bring loads and loads and loads of money with you.
Well, it starts off with a members walk. We have a sponsored walk. It's really our own underage teams. It's just a walk around the block. You know where we're located up there in the.
You're beside Mulcairn.
We are
there.
up there.
Paul.
That's correct.
Is Paul still alive and well up there?
Paul's alive and well.
Tell him you were talking to Rowan Hand. Tell him you were talking to me, because we used to we sailed together at a Carlingford.
Yeah, Paul's
years
a great
ago.
character.
A wonderful man.
Yes, indeed.
Nice man.
So
the walk.
He's if you like, semi-retired, but you can see him there on a Saturday directing traffic both inside and outside. He's a marvellous man.
So it's the sponsored walk.
The sponsored walk starts at around 1 o'clock.
And is that done and dusted in terms of people being involved?
Yes, it is.
You don't need any more.
No. That's an internal
right.
Okay. Type thing.
Next, what have we got?
And then after that, it's open to the public, and there's a truck run, and there's various stalls on during the day, and there's a disco for the young ones, and there's bouncy castles, and there's a mobile laser quest, and various different activities, weather permitting.
Yeah.
It should end up a decent day.
Well, my philosophy, there's no such thing as bad weather. There's just inappropriate clothing.
Yes.
That's if it is bad weather, wrap up, making it into an adventure, and bring your picnic basket with you or whatever else. I played football in your pitch up there.
Did you? Yeah.
Maybe 50 years ago now. I remember it. Newry Shamrocks. There was a tournament, I think. Would you have had tournaments?
Oh, of course. Everyone had tournaments in those days. But there's been some changes now. Even in the past 10 years, we've developed new fields and so on. They've big plans now to go ahead and do more. We're a big club. We have 22 teams on a regular basis playing football, hurling, ladies and camogie. We're one of the very, very few clubs that would offer activities across that range of GAA sport, and we're hoping as part of this new development to go down the handball route as well.
Wow, that's
and to offer all the GAA sports.
We
used to be GFC, Gaelic Football Club,
but you're not there. We're beyond that.
We changed that now to GAC.
You're beyond
so we're beyond that, as you say, and we're particularly pleased the hurling's going well. It is at underage level. It's really. There was a feeling that we had a couple of great individuals involved in it, who now sadly have passed to their reward, and it has now come that the people that they trained are now training the young ones.
But isn't that the great thing?
And that is the way.
That's tradition. That's culture. That's provenance.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great to have that. So, what time should people come to you?
But 1:30.
1:30 gets it, so they can make a
Absolutely.
couple of hours out of it, for goodness sake. And have you found that people will come from areas not exactly within your bailiwick, but a little bit further afield? People will come into you.
Oh, even from the wilds of Drummondtee and places like that, Drummondtee.
Watch out for Mickey O'Rourke, I tell you. God knows it.
Drummondee,
the men of Drummondee.
Mullavan.
There are.
Even if we'll open our arms to welcome even a few down people coming up the hill from
But
Uri.
why wouldn't you? If you can take a shilling of them, do it.
Indeed.
Yes. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming in to me.
It has been a joy.
Well, no, you were worried about it, and not worried. A man like you would be worried about nothing, but you kind of thought, well, I'm retired from the PR thing a wee bit, but now that you're here, you'll be back again. It'll be great. Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't it?
And we'll encourage you to do a Kalevi rant. We
I'll
can do
it. All you need is get me to come in to comment on the bishop and
we'll not get you you in any trouble. Mike, good luck to you. Mike O'Neill, God bless you. Go well. Music, sir.